Zel Boy Army, we're here today with another banger of a video. It's your boy Zelonius, my beautiful spicy friend, Mr. Ainsley Harriet. How you doing today, Ainsley? Beautiful smile as ever. Appreciate all the support lately on the videos, boys. Really appreciate all the new subs, the likes, the comments. When you guys are commenting on the video and giving me feedback, one, it helps me improve future videos, but also the encouragement really means a lot because it lets me know that you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out. Today's video, we're looking at build-up play and creating more chances. It's something that people have asked quite a lot for. I'll show you a few tactics, player instructions that can help with it, but then I'm going to show you gameplay examples where I build up, keep the ball, create chances with skills. I'm going to show you some of the tips and useful things you guys can do in game to be able to make the chances yourself. I think this is a video that can help people improve a lot. I think on FIFA 20 one of the hardest things to do is make chances and use build-up play. So I think this is an important video that will help a lot of people. Make sure you stick around to the end because there's lots of different parts of the video that I'm not just going to be like one clip that shows you everything. It's going to be different clips showing you some different ways of building up. I appreciate the support, boys. If anyone's interested in more specialised access to me and improving at the game, then I run a Patreon with me, Jambu, and the FIFA analyst. You get lots of access to us in Discord. We put specialised posts and text posts like text articles every day on the Patreon. A specialised video every week. There's lots of different packages, tiers that you can look at, different ways of helping you guys improve. So, boys, I appreciate your support. Enjoy the video. Okay, before we get into some gameplay, I'm going to talk you through a few of the tactics and player instructions that make quite a big difference when it comes to build-up. There's a few formations that are very viable. If you've not watched it, please check out my different tactics formations videos where I look at some of the best formations in the game. 4-2-3 is very good for build-up because you have 3 cams and a striker. I think any formation that has a central cam makes it a lot easier to build up. The 4-4-2 is still very good though because the left mid and right mid push on and give you width, but you still have 2 strikers in the middle, which is nice. The narrow diamond should be good, but it's just not because it's so narrow on this game where you need width. 3-5-2, that's a really good one as well. It's just a bit risky going defending. When it comes to the tactics, the balanced offensive style, in my opinion, is just the most solid, well-rounded tactic when it comes to build-up play. I see offensive style as the build-up play, to be honest. Balanced is literally what it says. It's balanced. It allows you as the player to really choose how you want to attack. Long ball, I would never use. I don't think many pros use this too much. Zelonius did use it recently at the time, so I need to look into that a bit more, but generally long ball I just don't find quite as effective. Fast build-up, I only use this when I'm playing 4-4-2 constant pressure, because in that formation I'm trying to win the ball high up the pitch, and when I win the ball high up the pitch, it's very effective. But if you're not playing to attack very quickly, fast build-up's very bad, because it just puts your team just runs straight in behind very quick and it leaves you isolated. Possession, it's awful for making chances, but it's very useful to play when you're seeing out a game. So those are those. Width, generally, I think you need a decent bit of width because if you don't have much width on this game, people will just play overload ball side. When they play overload ball side, it just makes it very narrow and compact. And the players in box are generally on default. If I'm going all out to attack, I might up that a little bit though. Instructions, I would never put getting behind on the striker other than a tactic where when I'm really going for the game or where I'm keeping the ball. If I'm keeping the ball, getting behind is nice because they'll press you and you can play a ball in behind. If you're really going at them like 4-4-2 constant pressure, getting behind is good because you're trying to get in quick. But generally, mixed attack's good because when you try and just keep the ball and play a balanced build-up, getting behind just means they constantly make runs in behind and it just leaves them isolated. I always like the striker to stay forward because it just helps the build-up to have a kind of target right in the middle. I like the striker on stay central because I've already got width with the outside cams. I leave the cams on default. I've tested getting to the box, but I feel like getting to the box kind of breaks the natural flow of the build-up, so I don't really like that. And in this formation, I really like balanced attack on the CDMs because they still get back and defend plenty, but it means that they're still a threat in the attack. If anyone watched my weekend league highlights, there was a few goals we scored with the CDMs where if they were on stay back, they just wouldn't have scored. So those are the player instructions, tactics, some of the build-ups, things, having a look at them. But let's get into some gameplay where I can analyse some clips and show you how I build up. One key thing that you really need to know when it comes to build-up play is the game situation. So many people, when it comes to build-up play, just are one-dimensional. One of the biggest things that happens when I do private coaching that I find advice I'm giving to players is stop rushing it forward, because when you rush it forward and you always go straight for the goal, you become very predictable and it becomes very easy to defend against. One thing I find people generally gold 1 and below do is, as soon as they win the ball back, they just go forward straight away. What this often does is it leaves you isolated, which by that I mean that it leaves your attackers outnumbered by their defenders. I've shown clips before of me defending 9 men against 4 attackers. If I've got 9 defenders and they've got 4 attackers, it's going to be so easy for me to defend because I just have so many more options than them. But what I'll say about game situations and build-up play is that it's really vital that you can see the situation and see if it's a good chance to attack or not. So in this clip here, watch. We win the ball back here, and as soon as I see this, I spot 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 5 of his players I can instantly bypass with one pass. See there? So now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defenders pretty much taken out the game. And I have 1, 2, 3 attackers. 3 attackers versus 4 or 5 defenders on FIFA 20 with how overload ball side and drop back and people trying to defend. I'm going to take that every day. A lot of the time, one thing I recommend to people when I do coaching is make sure that you go backwards, you build up properly, you really work the chance. But if an opportunity arises where you can quickly tackle them and push up the pitch and catch them off guard and counter, then it's important you take it. So you see here, I get the ball. Now, we've basically taken this guy out because the card is making a run there. So we've got 1, 2 against 1, 2. So it's a bit of left stick dribbling. I've beat the man there. Here, Ikoni's left footed and he probably thinks I'm going to pass there. So what I do, a lot of this here, one of the big things in build-up play that separates people is left stick dribbling. Left stick dribbling, if you can get good at it, it will change your game and change your attack. Left stick dribbling, there's not some crazy mechanics to it. A lot of it is just about reading your opponent. I read my opponent, I dribble past him here. I could shoot near post with Ikoni, which probably goes in most times. I could turn there and not finesse it there. We could finesse it there, that's a bit better. But what I'm always looking for is I'm looking for the guaranteed goals. I'm looking for consistent, reliable gameplay that will deliver me results, and you guys should be too. R9 is onside. It's an easy pass across. It's an open net. Easy goal. So remember, you don't always need to be looking to rush forward like this, but the opportunity arose where I could push forward. I caught my opponent off guard. It meant it was an easy goal. For this video, the main thing that I'm doing is I'm showing you lots of different clips from a 9-0 win we had in Foot Champs to show you some different examples of how I score goals, how I break opponents down. This guy was actually, I think, 9-3, so like that's not that bad a record, but using the tips and ways that I know how to build up on this game and attack, I managed to annihilate him, to be honest. 9-0's a pretty convincing win. This clip here shows one of the most consistent ways of scoring on the game. So I shot, put him under pressure. Build up play, you can lead from the front, so if you can press from the front and read a defender, you'll catch them out. I get the ball here. A lot of people from here would take a touch there and then probably try finesse it there, or they'd go there and just hit it there. I didn't do that. I don't force it. Not forcing things on FIFA is so key. This FIFA, there isn't just a guaranteed way to score every time. You have to be creative, unpredictable, mix things up a bit. So what I do here is I start dribbling. He doesn't really give me anything. Normally, if my opponent gave me space, I'd like to go there and then hit it near post. but he doesn't really offer me that. So what I do is a left stick dribble. A lot of it as well, you have to take what your opponent gives you. Be patient. Space will open up. Even at the highest level with pros, space does open up. No pro is perfect on this game. No pro defends perfectly. A lot of the time when I'm coaching my pro players at events, if anyone doesn't know, I'm the Roma esports head coach. What I will say is I will tell them, wait for the space to open. Don't be stupid. Don't force something. Don't make a mistake. Wait for the space to open because it will open up. If that happens at a pro level, it definitely will happen at gold, silver level. It's just being patient so important. His defenders are starting to run there, and R9's peeling off there. I know in my head that means there's going to be some space. You can see that R9's got the space. I said there's not a really consistent way to score this shit, and that's right. But the best way to score, if you can have it or set it up, is having a 5-star weak foot attacker, because it means you can go either way in the box. Passing it into his feet anywhere from 8 to 18 yards out. Taking a touch. Soon as R9 takes that touch, because the defender's not gone there, R9's gone that space, he can go there, it's going to be a guaranteed goal, back of the net. If you can build up and make that chance where you get it into your striker's feet and take a touch, if the defender doesn't defend it perfectly, it is pretty much always a goal. And if you can get really good at that, and you've got a 5-star weak foot attacker, it's so hard for people to defend against because they don't know which way you're going to go. And from there, especially after the recent patch about buffed shooting, it's nearly always going to be a goal. This clip here, I show you some skills that I like to use that open people up a lot. One of the things that I also tell people when I do private coaching is you don't need to use skills to just beat men. Skills for me, mostly on FIFA, the biggest importance in them is using them to create better angles. Creating better angles and protecting the ball allows you to build up in a much more effective way. Left stick dribbling is very good for turning a lot of the time. One of the simplest moves that I find can help you build up is just a simple ball roll. Ball rolls are the easiest trick to do. Everyone can do them. Just look here. I'm just ball rolling, creating a slightly better angle. That there, the ball roll I do there, it allows the angle for the next pass to be so much better. If I'm going there and it's just a direct down rather than a diagonal, the error that on the directly vertical pass is so much bigger. So a quick ball roll that is very easy to do just makes the next pass a lot more consistent. Ball rolls are so easy, and one of the great ways you can use them is on the wings to protect the ball. You just ball roll away from your opponent. My favourite trick on this FIFA is the scoop turn there. The scoop turn there, as we do it, the defender's getting close to us, it just instantly takes us away from the defender and creates a really good angle. Scoop turns are amazing in the box. If you can get the ball to this position, you can scoop turn there or scoop turn there, especially if you've got a 5-star weak foot. They're very hard to defend against because they're so quick. If the defender gets really tight to you, a little Berber spin, I'm not even sure if that's what this trick's called, but a simple roulette, where you kind of go like that with the analog stick and then that way. If they get really tight, you can do that, you bounce past them. I got a little bit lucky with the bounce, but when you've got players like R9, you can do that. But the general rule was that he got tight to me, so it gave me more space. And then bang it into the top bins. Another key part of the build-up is knowing the type of shot you want to create. So you don't really want to be looking for edge of the box finesses too often on this game, as they're not that good. Check out the video I did about how to score more goals, how to shoot. There's lots of shooting advice in that video that will help you out. But that's an example there of build-up play, how to use certain types of tricks that are going to make quite a big difference when it comes to making chances. Okay, one of the important things again for build-up on this game is using width. It's one of the reasons that the formations that I tend to recommend, that especially for attacking, are 3-5-2, 4-4-2 and 4-2-3-1. What do they all have in common? They have width. If you don't attack with width, once you start to play better people, they'll just be using overload ball side, they'll be very narrow in their defense, very compact, and you're going to really have a tough time breaking them down. Using width stretches their defense and opens more space in the middle to allow you to create more. One of the best things to do for wing play is use ball rolls, drag backs on the wing, Got a little example of that here. Butragrano, this is what I'm talking about. When I ball roll it there, it means the defender doesn't get tight to me. It just gives me a lot more space on the wing to make it a lot harder for the defender to tackle me. And even if he does dive in and tackle me, I'll get a throw in anyway. So you can see I'm left stick dribbling to try create, cause some havoc. And then I play the pass from here. Because his defenders are there, I've got quite a bit of space. I can play it to Petit. Puts Petit in a lot of space. That pass is a little bit risky, but one of the other things you need to balance, it kind of comes under the game situation stuff that we was talking about, is risk versus reward. I like to say to people when I'm coaching, okay, keep the ball, play safe, don't do stupid stuff, but what you really need to look at is the risk versus reward. If you can play a pass that's quite risky, but if you make it, it's a very good goal scoring opportunity. Sometimes you have to take that. Sometimes you have to take a risk. You can't just play simple, boring passes all the time. Pass it into R9, and what we can see here is R9. He's got these few defenders near him, but that's not that many. R9 here can go that way, can go that way. It's the same with anyone with a 5-star weak foot, which is why I really recommend you have a 5-star weak foot attacker. Someone like Ben Yedder or Son at this point of the game are not that expensive. I go to my right foot. He probably thinks here I'm going to bang it there, but what I do, I turn again. R9's got good dribbling. Most of the good 5-star weak foot players do. Go up that way. At this point it's undefendable. The defender panics. R9 puts it right in the corner. Easy goal. Bit of a chomp celebration at the end. But this goes to show, using the wing, what the wing play did there is it drawed defenders out there, created space in the middle so that R9 could isolate centre back, and with the 5-star weak foot you could see how hard it was for him to defend it. He didn't know which way he was going to go. I was going to go with R9, he was bamboozled. So you need to use width to create the space in the middle. As you can see in this game here, my opponent is 4-0 down, so he's starting to press a lot and getting a lot more space. But you have to use the space that you get given. A lot of people don't use the space that they get given if they get a chance, and they just rush it forward and do something stupid. As you can see here, I don't just force the ball. I don't force the ball to him or him, because they've still got defenders covering them. I pass it down here, because what that does is it will draw a defender down. You can see it draws the defender there, and when it draws the defender there, it means I have 1, 2, 3 versus 2 players. Now watch what I do here with R9. This is really good play. That opens up a goal. A lot of people lack composure on this game. If you get into this position, a lot of the time people will panic in defence. If you can read the defender and make them panic, you will get a lot more goals. So I go like that. He probably thinks at this point that I'm going to go there and hit it there, which a lot of people would do. Most people in that position would try that, and there's still quite a risk in this position that he would get blocked or missed, because it's not as guaranteed. But what I do, I'm clever, I wait for my opponent to commit, I go there, and from there, because I can take a few extra touches and set myself, it's just guaranteed, it's never going to miss. Reading your opponents is such a key component to build-up play. Build-up play and having composure in front of goal go hand in hand. If you're not composed in front of goal and become predictable and force things, it's going to be so much easier to defend. The very best players in the world look for extra pass, look for that extra touch that can guarantee the goal. Guaranteed goals aren't always something that are easy to come by in FIFA, but being composed and reading your opponent will lead to a lot more of them. One thing I like with this goal is the build-up's a little bit more patient, and I really utilise the space that my opponent gives me. Using the space that you get given is so vital on this game, but it's also, this goal shows a lot of patience in it, so I want to explain that to you. So I go backwards here. If I'd tried to go forwards like most people would, I've got one attacker out there, one there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defenders. So going forwards wouldn't have helped. So I go to Petit. Butra. When I go to Butra, it gets me a lot more width, gives me a lot more space. Then the middle of the pitch, you can see, I've got more options now. Butra's even running down there. I pass to Martinez. When I pass here, there's not really a guaranteed chance here. A lot of people here would try to do a scoop turn or a fake shot that way, or even turn that way, but then I run into him. So what I do here is, because I've not really got too much support yet, I've got Petit might run in, I've got this Petit here. You can see he might run in, as he's starting to move forward. But they're not there yet. So what I need to do is I need to be patient, I need to wait for them to get into position. So I'm kind of just here with R9. With R9, I'm kind of just going like that, turning, just creating a bit of space, but making sure I protect the ball so he can't tackle me. I wait there, and then Martinez has beat his man. He's made the run. He's going in there. R9 can pass it there. The little touch I take there, we'll watch that back actually. Watch the little touch R9 takes. So here, if I play this pass now, there's a decent chance his defender intercepts it. But when I take that touch there, his defender runs past it, and it makes it almost a guaranteed goal. Puts it into that position. Martinez is running for own goal. He's always going to score. Easy dub.